we're gonna start by setting up the character. Let's do the 10-minute game against whoever we find. And we are black. Let's see. Ish. Queen spawn. So scary. So what are we gonna do here today? Let's go all passive. Huh. So now we're gonna go here. Our idea is to play Computer Buster. Mm-hmm. This is a question. I think I want to get another bishop or push this guy. I want to push this guy because I want to put my knight here. Maybe castle right away. Alright, so he got a knight in. Knight has this square. Let's not give him the square. Since we are going for the setup. We can develop the knight. I think this is the time to develop the knight. Alright, so he castled. We can go ahead and try to castle another way. But I think it's much better to try to fianchetto my bishop. You can go like this, but just cover it with a knight. Interesting. Do you want to open up? I do not. I probably need to spend time to go back, but my opponent is playing fairly passive, so I think it's gonna work out. That's a GM move. Is it time to castle? Yes. I think it's long overdue. Let's develop the bishop. Okay, so if I take... I don't have nice attack, but there is like a discover and a knight. So if I can attack something, that would be nice. I cannot take this guy. I can take this guy. He's gonna take it and I'm gonna win a pawn. So, wanna win a pawn? Yeah, why not? Alright, so how? There should be a way to mate here. Or should it? Feels like I'm missing something. Like at least I can just crush through here. I don't know what he's gonna do here. This looks pretty strong for me. I guess let's just pick up material. Push the pawn. Promote. All the good stuff. Why is there a mate? Nah, it's a knight. Let's just promote. I forgot you got a queen. It's been so much out of the game. Okay, I guess let's try to turn on the thinking thing. Yeah, head. I think it's called head. Da-da-da-da-da. Interesting. I'm curious, what is the reason why this is better? Is this just because of the all about central control? But we don't care about central control. It's Hippo. So he kind of overextending. Okay, this is correct. Also just bust things open. But I don't know. I don't feel comfortable because it takes a little bit for me to castle my king. But let's see. Oh, he develops a knight. I was thinking about that, but once again, my idea is to work against him. He develops a bishop. It's better to actually forward the knight over here. It is a nice spot. Okay. So far, so good. So far, so good. Interesting. But a long term, this was still crowded, so I cannot say that I double up the rook, and also long term, that was very close position. I'm not quite sure if that's the way to go. At least not with the way I went about the position. Maybe I'm missing something. It's actually a very interesting rook move. I mean, I understand that I pin myself, but it really takes forever to get to this rook. I mean, like, this is not a problem. You can just go ahead and, like, do whatever. I'm including that. Yeah, that was weird. I decided not to bust out. I like my pawns. I like my passive position. And yeah, that was a mistake. Okay, nice to know. I'm evaluating things correctly. Man, his accuracy was nothing. Mine is surprisingly low. I thought I would be like in high 80s. Because I don't really blunder anything. It's just, not the best moves. But, I mean, why would they be? All right, best move. I thought it's kind of a gamble. And it's interesting that it's actually a best move. So basically the reason why I take it because I activated the bishop And if he takes the knight, I just take the knight, and I am up the pawn. And this guy looks, well, this pawn gonna look stupid here. And I don't know, this is just nonsense because I take that and he has to open his king or take with a queen, just putting her in this nice square. And I mean, yeah, that was bad. I mean, this or that, I can understand. I think it was only two moves. And the evaluation bar pretty much agrees with him after this. It was just boom. Like, what the hell are you doing, dude? And why would he open the king? Not quite sure. From this point, I just want to see what was my best way to clean things up, because there should be... Okay, this is fine. That. So he said just immediately go for it. Along with that. Oh, it's also a fork. So you're for sure winning one more pawn. Okay. And I kind of like that. Plus, I was pretty sure that he would not notice that and it's gonna get him tilted. I understand that this bishop is pretty much better than the rook. But at this point, I was winning, so I kind of play against the opponent as opposed to better chess. Oh, that's nasty. Because I have to react. And that... Oh, wow. It was not even on my radar. That's awesome. Okay, that was a blunder. That was okay. Like, all my moves are fine. Yeah, like, ending was just for fun. All right. That was very nice and very clean game of chess. That was very rare for me. Now let's go ahead and try to make some work. We went through some chess today. Last time we played Chuggy. Now we're gonna go ahead and do some characters. Ooh, da da da. Ooh, da da. Very good, kind of girl like me. Ooh, da da da. Ooh, da da da. Ooh, da da da. When gonna get a girl like me. Bow, wow, wow. Bow, wow. Wow, wow. The eyes are definitely need some work on this guy. We're gonna get there. You gotta get a girl like me. Ooh, da da da. Ooh, da da da. Ooh, da da da. And you gotta get a girl like me. Ooh, da da da. Ooh, da da da. All right. Illustrator is not my friend today. All right, I can do the text area. Yay! It happened. So he's a bear. This means that he's big and his voice is deep. That basically means that generally we want to go lower with this guy, and we want to have a little bit of a bigger voice. Needs to be wide. Let's say. The question is, should we also speak longer? Also, let's change the character. So we are in character while we're speaking in character. Here we go. All right. Now we have a bear speaking about the bear. So what's the idea here? This guy needs to speak with this nice low voice, but it's also very important to understand kind of a speaking patterns. So this guy was born as a bear. I mean, like wild bear without ability to speak or anything like that inside the character lore. That can be reflected in voice. Maybe a little bit choppier. So he will be fun guy. So he'll be joking around and he'll be doing visual gags. What does it mean? This is interesting. Now I'm just kind of struggling to think about the prankster characters in the media, and I want to understand if there is some commonality between them. Still thinking. Processing. Waiting. 1, 2, 3. This is where, yeah, he can have this more of a sarcastic kind of a voice. So you can go a little bit lower, and you can go a little bit longer on the vowels because he's a bear, and I think it's a little bit choppier. I think it's got to be a little bit more natural. Yeah, I need to understand if I need to go with natural voice or is it supposed to be a cartoonish voice? Because if it's a cartoonish voice, we can always speak in a very weird way. But if we want to keep things natural, it can be more of a patternized voice. Also, it's a question if we are going to speak. Yeah. I think with a bear, the trick would be to speak always in the paced and slower way, so he will never expand his speech, never gonna be screaming too loud. He's gonna be very paced, and he's always gonna have this kind of a rhythmic situation, rhythmic sound. Yeah, I like it. I think this guy supposed to have a little bit slower voice, a little bit lower pace. Maybe I can get myself some help with the voice processor. But the voice processor is a little bit trickier because I need to understand how it sounds and if it's really gonna work for me long term. If it's gonna work for me fine, I need to understand the settings because so far when I try to implement anything around that, the sound got a little bit too distorted for my taste. But I think we can fix that. Yeah, if I'm going to speak like that, it's so paced, sound. Positive and sarcastic. Joke around. No. Did I write store correctly? Ooh. Yeah. Oh. Seems like I'm actually not doing complete nonsense. Spell check, spell check. Alright, so this will be the character where I will try to pace myself and where I will try to speak without any sort of connotations where I go too much up and down. So he will be really the base of the company, which means that he cannot really have too long of a speeches. Or if I give him the longer speech, I will need to understand how to manage around it because it can be a little tedious to listen of the voice when it's monotone. Yeah, I don't like that. I want this guy to speak more. Positive and sarcastic. Based sounds when official. Relaxed voice is the right on face. Bum 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 ba ba ba. Yeah, so I can see when there is the end of the meeting and everybody gets out and only this guy and a couple of his friends are really stayed and he goes yeah, then it can be total 360 when it comes to how he behaved and how he poses himself. And I think it will be very positive because it can be, all right, let's figure things out. And he can be like very official for someone who doesn't know. And the idea here is to integrate it with the games and D&D like campaigns as well, which will work very well in the future because someone who's gonna know this character gonna know that he has something else behind him and he can be different. And some will just treat him as a very serious guy. And in reality, he's a prankster who's gonna mess with them. So it's work inside the cartoon as well as inside the guy. Yeah. So we will need to keep this in mind and start to keep tracking this voice and starting to understand how deep we want to go. And maybe a little bit more of a voice. So maybe he will be more like a radio kind of star. And yeah, it needs to be kind of a Robin Williams kind of a character when it. I cannot do that. But let's see if we can train it a little bit. I think it's a nice, good effort for today. That's all for today. Thank you so much. Let's see how it sounds. Hope it's better now.